Satan infuses this whisper in the minds of some people that I'm getting closer to Islam, I'm getting closer to Allah Almighty, then why are calamities befalling me? Subhanallah, what can be said about the eminence of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, depicted by Ala Hazrat, who says that मैं निसार तेरे कलाम पर मिली यूं तो किसको ज़बान नहीं, वो सुखन है जिसमें सुखन ना हो, वो बयां है जिसका बयां नहीं. The Prophet ﷺ resolved this issue around 1450 years ago. Sayyiduna Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala an reports that I asked, Dear Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, upon which people most calamities befell? In other words, he resolved the entire confusion for us by asking that who are those upon whom most calamities befell? And the final messenger of Allah replied, the prophets. Allahu Akbar. The prophets are the closest to Allah Almighty, isn't it? After the prophets, then those people who are superior after them, then those who are superior after them. Now listen to the next statement, that a person is inflicted with calamities in accordance to how religious he is. If he is firm in his religion, then his test is also severe. And if he is weak in his religion, then Allah Almighty tests him in accordance to how religious he is. A person keeps getting inflicted with calamities to the extent that all his sins are forgiven in this world. So it is the mercy of Allah that when a person becomes pious, He inflicts him with hardships and calamities so that he observes patience over it, for which his sins are forgiven, and he is admitted into paradise when he meets Allah. Allahu Akbar. Dear Islamic brothers, remember the question that we asked at the very beginning, that I'm trying to come closer to Islam, I'm trying to make efforts to come closer to Allah, and calamities are befalling me one after the other. What is this? Now listen to another hadith. Subhanallah, Sayyiduna Anas radiyallahu anhu reports that the leader of all prophets, the seal of the prophets, the intercessor of Ummah, the final messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam has said that when Allah Almighty loves someone, pay attention to these words, that when Allah Almighty loves any of His servants or intends to make him one of His friends, then He downpours calamities upon him. Allah Almighty also loves that bondsman and also sending calamities upon him. How come? Whereas a beloved is showered with comfort, but this is where test lies. This is the test. Listen, the Holy Prophet ﷺ says that when Allah inflicts hardship upon him, then he calls on to Allah Almighty, saying, "O my Lord Almighty." So Allah Almighty says that, "O my bondsman, whatever you ask me, I will grant it to you. I will grant it to you soon, and I will make it a provision of hereafter for you." Subhanallah, it means that the chosen servants of Allah are tested, their ranks are elevated, and their sins are forgiven. So my dear Islamic brothers, never let this thought come to your mind that I'm coming closer to Islam but my hardships are also increasing. Just realize that your test has commenced, your trial has started, and you have to succeed in this test and attain more proximity of Allah. The sins that you've committed in your life, inshallah, these tests will become an expiation for them. They will be a means of elevation of your ranks. Plead in the court of Allah that, "O Allah, I'm content upon your will, I'm content upon your decisions. Whatever you had given, it was all yours. Everything is yours. O Allah, whenever you take it back, I'll be content upon it." When you develop this kind of conviction, then you will see that how your heart gets filled with sakina through the treasures of ghaib, how you will be showered with divine mercy. So my dear Islamic brothers, calamities have befallen and will befall in future too. Be mentally prepared for them, but observe patience. The calamity will be for a few days, a few hours, or a few moments, but through patience it will elevate your ranks. Allah Almighty loves those who are patient.